Okay, so the live stream is up and running on YouTube, hopefully.
What you did in Italy earlier, John, did you pass out at the end or something?
I was just tired and wasn't keeping an eye on airspeed, and the aeroplane disintegrated.
Yeah. I just tuned in for the last few minutes to see how it ended. It was quite funny.
Yep, just suddenly went dark. It was funny because, yeah, I cut the engine back to idle and was descending down to the coast, and the plane just fell to bits. Mind you, the plane was falling to bits most of the way through the flight, to be honest. Okay, so live stream's running. There's people arriving all over the place, which is good.
Anybody else on live weather?
Yes, it looks very dark and forbidding.
Yes, it does.
Oh, and the sim has frozen. Let's hope it wakes back up.
Just a normal Sunday night weather, isn't it?
Hi, Patrick.
In
Good evening, Patrick.
How are we?
Particularly well, thank you. How's yourself?
Oh, well, tickety, I suppose.
Right.
Struggling with the controller again. It was working perfectly okay this afternoon. Then I changed from a 737 to I can't remember what it was, and it won't stop turning right now.
I usually disconnect the controller and connect it again if that happens to me.
Yeah, I've done it several times.
Ah.
So I joined your live stream.
Yes.
And I couldn't get it to fly, so I did that again.
I saw you appear, yeah, briefly.
Yeah. So I joined you at Palmer.
Right.
You'd just taken off, and I tried to follow, and it just kept turning right.
Good evening.
Hiya, Jim.
Evening.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Anybody having problems? I've tried to load the game 5 times tonight, and I've crashed the desktop every time.
No.
Nope.
I had that earlier today. It took me 3 or 4 times just restarting over and over, and it finally took.
Very weird.
Stupid question. You've rebooted the PC, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like, and switched it off properly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try again.
Cool. Okay, start the engines then. How are we doing for time? 5 minutes to go.
Very slow Airbus, Joe.
124 knots.
That full flap.
It was. No, I'm going to need to get a bit of practicing with this aircraft.
You could
Okay.
buy the 737.
Oh, that could.
7 or 600.
Is it so much better?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Well, you're on fly-by-wire, aren't you?
I am.
I flew that today, first time for months.
And
It was all right. But I've got the Phoenix and I've got the 737, so it doesn't compare to either of them, unfortunately.
all right. The Phoenix not much better.
Yes.
Okay.
And even Muggs would agree with that. Muggs being the renowned world expert on the fly-by-wire.
All right.
Or in my books, anyway.
The Phoenix and the PMDG 737s are roughly equal in terms of fidelity, so it's really just a question of whether you want to fly an Airbus or a Boeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a long history with flying with Boeing, haven't we, Pat?
We have.
And undercarriage development.
Yeah.
Alps re-landscaping.
Yes.
I'm looking at the weather and wondering about going to scattered clouds or something, because it's looking like quite a low cloud base as well.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Oh dear.
I'll take off and do a circuit, but I think I might vanish into the cloud within seconds of takeoff.
You've got 1,000 feet or so, I'd say.
See which server I'm on.
You're on the right one, I believe.
Oh, yes I am. Just haven't seen many other people.
You can't see many other people.
No.
Oh, there's hundreds. Not hundreds, but quite a lot.
Oh, but I've got me fiddled with the wrong setting on traffic. Which is my favourite thing.
You didn't see me then, 'cause you just flew by me.
Yes, I saw you.
It's possible we've got enough people here to get it to spawn another instance, so you might not see everyone at once. Plus, Microsoft Flight Sim multiplayer is hardly the most robust of systems anyway.
Get no argument there.
Yeah, I'm going to change the weather to scattered cloud for myself. Okay, so we're just coming up to 8 o'clock, so anybody that is on the flight and can hear me, if you've not joined us before, welcome to VirtualFlight.Online. We do this every week, or we try to do this every week, on a Sunday evening, just to have a relaxed flight around a route together. The only real rule, if you're on the voice chat, is to keep the conversation family friendly, so, you know, keep away from contentious subjects or anything that might offend, really. Other than that, it's just a relaxed flight around a number of waypoints together. Try to stay together as a group, so if you do get way ahead, please, you know, think about circling back into the pack or doing a circuit at the next airfield. We will stop at halfway. It's marked on the flight notes on Discord where the halfway point is. I think it's one of the big college airfields, isn't it, this evening? But other than that, just have fun. So if it's just coming up to 8 o'clock, so if you're ready, start rolling.
Getting airborne.
Real weather, the ceiling is about 1,000 feet.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave it on scattered cloud for me. And I get to see everybody.
I was going to say my ceiling's always been about 8 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first leg this evening, I'm just flying around the airfield to watch everybody taking off. First leg is 285 degrees, 27 miles to Le Sueur Municipal.
Oh yeah, I can see everybody now.
You just changed, did you change aircraft?
No.
You were red and white livery before, you're now TUI.
Not guilty.
Just to remind everybody, this is being live streamed, so if you do want to tell a story that might be a problem if it's out there on the internet, you might want to save it for another time when we're not live streaming.
Why didn't you tell me this, Jonathan, when you did my trip down here? Had my son ring up and said, "What are you doing all over YouTube?"
Brilliant. Yeah, but we should be paid by the New Zealand Tourist Board because that was such a good advert for New Zealand.
Truth.
I missed that one. Oh, missed a pylon just. I was watching Joe in his really slow turn.
A couple of years ago, my wife and I did a cruise in the Mediterranean, and we went to Kota in Montenegro, whatever it is.
Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Anyway, I put a flight together and went around there. Gee, fascinating. It's mountainous.
Nice area.
It is a lot of fun.
It was a great tourist area at one time. I guess it's getting that way again.
They call it the Riviera of the Adriatic, don't they, Budva, around that area?
Is that you and my 5 o'clock map?
You've got it going, Jim. No response was this time.
Still flying at 109 knots on full flaps.
I'm just going to say for the group, if you want to try and aim for about 140 knots, then we should get around in pretty good time, and it gives people with slower planes a chance.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
What did he?
It's not beeping when I
You're very quiet though.
I've got it on full.
Yeah, we've got you muted, that's why.
So normally, you know, when you press a button, you can hear it beep. I'm not getting that, so I thought it wasn't working.
You're getting louder by the moment. Were you away from the microphone?
No, I'm sat in the exact same place.
That's perfect now.
Probably be too loud in about a minute.
I'll keep it as it is then.
I can do nothing.
Have you got a headset with a mic on it?
No, this is a
Desktop.
standalone mic, desktop.
Right. I'm going to do a very quick circle to come in behind everybody so I can see everybody in the sky in front of me.
So we'll mess around for about half an hour with this mic. So.
You've been messing with it, that's why.
No, because it wasn't beeping, I didn't think it was working. So I didn't realise, you know, if I spoke, people would hear me.
A good way to test is to look at your little icon in the chat, Dave. When you're transmitting, it should
Yeah.
light up the green ring.
Yeah, it wasn't earlier, see, but it is now. That's why I actually spoke.
Good evening, good evening.
What was that?
Oh, just as an advisory, can we just make sure everybody's got their strobes on?
Yeah, if everybody has their nav lights on, I forgot to mention that, then we can see each other easily, or if you don't have labels on, it means you can see the other aircraft.
We've got a lot on Discord, but nowhere near as many in the sky, so a lot can't be running transmitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of labels as well in the sim, so.
Voice check, please.
Yes, we can hear you, Jim.
Only about
Alan,
4 though for me.
I am having so much fun. So, right, I am up in the air. I'll catch up with everybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
My helicopter, which I was going to do this trip in, has totally disappeared from my list of planes, and I crashed 5 times trying to load it, which is interesting.
Dear.
Right.
And yet it worked perfectly well this afternoon,
Strange,
because
isn't it?
I did the first 3 legs of this trip.
Mean to say you were cheating too, Jim?
No, I'm learning to fly the H135. I only just got it yesterday.
How's it going so far?
It's very good. I've learned how to do start up from cold and dark. I've learned how to do the autopilot, how to put the flight plan in, how to land it, how to take it off. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm quite pleased.
Oh, you're now the expert.
You should do a video, Jim.
No, Joe's the expert. But it's no good if I don't know where it's disappeared to. I'm going to have to reload it, I think. I wish I'd heard Jonathan say about the 140, because I'm in a 172.
Ah, it's just because it's 180 miles tonight, so to get it in under 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. I might change then.
Yeah. You can change in flight if you switch to dev mode.
Yeah, I don't know how to switch to dev mode.
Press escape. General options. Second to bottom, developers. Click on that. And click it to on.
Fly and save.
And then one of the menus at the top lets you pull up the list of aircraft, and you can pick any aircraft and load it immediately while you're in flight.
Yeah, then go to Windows. It's aircraft selector.
That's it.
That's really interesting. General options is freezing my frame, showing me the full picture, but not taking me anywhere.
Right, if anybody looks at me live stream, I've got a nice picture of strobes at the moment.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
So I can't get into my general options. We are having a lovely night.
All Joe?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to turn labels off because I hate labels. I thought it would be useful to see where everybody is, but
I hate labels too, but I can't see anything without them. So I'm going to have to go to non-real weather.
That UI utility, though, you downsizes the size of the labels and it makes it a little bit better.
Oh yeah, I've got that. I've got nice small green labels.
Good evening.
evening.
Good evening.
Are you taking off or?
We were on our way. We left at 8 or 8 p.m. British Summer Time, 1900 UTC. You're free to join anywhere along the route. We are just heading into Le Sur Municipal, which is 12 Yankee.
I'm in the market for the yoke. What do you think?
I got the honeycomb set up. It's brilliant.
Do you have a quadrant with that?
Yes, I do.
Would a Logitech work with that? Like a cheaper Logitech quadrant?
I think you can configure just about anything. And the Logitech stuff's all there, isn't it?
Yeah, you can mix and match any of them.
Yeah, that honeycomb looks appetizing. It looks good.
There is a quadrant for the honeycomb, isn't it? Is it called the Bravo?
I think that's right.
Yeah, it is. It's got a autopilot annunciator panel and everything on it. It's really good.
Bravo is pricey, but it is good quality.
Would you go with the yoke and save your money for the quadrant?
I got both.
Well, not money bags.
Lovely view after the first touch.
Just had a crash of that stop.
Oh no. Well, a load of us haven't even got to Le Sueur yet, so you've got loads of time.
That sounded like Mark.
Yeah, it does.
Good
No.
off. Good off.
Was that you, Mark?
Yes, Jim.
Why would something I've downloaded, flown, and suddenly disappear from my inventory?
Don't know.
Thanks for your answers, by the way.
Never the computer's fault. It's always the guy pushing the buttons.
That's what the computer says.
I'm really glad to speak to you as well tonight, Ellis.
I hope that cheered you up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and get a refill after that.
Okay, I have visuals on Le Sueur. Like I see lots of nav lights. It's like a scene from a movie with aircraft attacking somewhere.
Challenger 1, low approach.
Are you?
What does too low terrain mean again?
It means the terrain is too low, not you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's debatable.
Behind you.
Right, I'm going to do a circuit to see people coming in behind
Hey,
me.
you little tinker. Having power. Very nice sunrise at the moment. Oh, there's you again, Pat. You mean 9 o'clock?
Guy's a lot clearer for this leg.
Oops.
Okay, Okay, so yeah, the next leg, which a lot of people are already on, I think, is 20 miles, 339 degrees.
I was going to take off with you, by the way, Jonathan, earlier when I popped onto your live stream, but I was just a little bit too late. So I thought I just happened to fancy a quick flight from another airport back towards where you were.
That was good fun earlier.
Doing quite well, Pat, flying. Reasonably stable.
Not bad. But you don't see me in Spitfire, do you?
No.
So yeah, Princeton Municipal will be the halfway point this evening, which is a couple of airfields away yet. So the next one is Glencoe Municipal.
Take a look at my live stream.
Oh, stand by. I'm just looking at my live stream. Well, no, I'm not looking at my live stream. Say that again.
I've lost you now.
Yep, I've got you.
Can you tell me where I am?
I'm looking for you now. Were you low before?
I was below you, yeah.
Let's have a look on the nav map. You're in me 4 o'clock. Sorry, 8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, but just lost control.
I was just wondering why I couldn't go very fast, and then I realised I still had the wheels down.
I'm sure you're not senior.
Bit of a left turn. Yeah, you're in the 6 o'clock now.
So we got a couple of questions on the live stream that are quite interesting. Guy called Den Glade Smiley has asked, in the 737-600, how do you know how much to descend? I'm guessing he means the descent rate. Well, you get a projected line, don't you, on the primary flight display of when you will reach your target altitude?
Yeah, same as any PMDG, I guess.
Yeah.
Your rate of descent in it will give you a target.
It's like a green arc, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tells you when you're going to hit your target altitude.
Yeah. So yeah, you see. So if you use if you're using vertical speed mode, for example, yeah, you will see that green line change as you change the vertical speed. Otherwise, if you use flight level change, the aircraft will descend at the maximum rate it can at the speed it's going, or the speed you've set, I should say.
Yeah, you set the speed and then it'll vary the descent rate to hold that speed. So you set it and then chop the throttle and then it'll start descending to hold.
Cool. This is quite good, isn't it? We get a whole group of people to answer random questions people post in.
Yeah. That's a good view from your perspective, Pat.
It is, isn't it?
If he's talking about when to start descending for like the whole flight, the whole descent, That's a pretty complicated calculation, which is why you have the VNAV profile. The computer does the math for you.
Oh, he's got another question. So we misunderstood. So no, not what I meant. I meant what altitude to descend at. Top of descent.
Your waypoints will tell you that.
The flight plan will tell you.
You'll usually get top of descent put on your little nav map.
Yeah. So top of descent will be marked based on the performance profile, and it will do it in the FMC as well, actually. And also, if you mean what altitude you're descending to, that's part of the standard approach route that you may be using. Because there will be restrictions. Okay, I'm just looking for some nav lights. I'm kind of lost touch of everybody.
Oh, are you following the pack?
No, I'm messing about. Trying to get you so you can't follow me.
I wasn't paying attention, ended up in the bush. Thank heavens for the Y key.
I hate the bush.
There should be some device where you press the Y key, you get electric shock.
Right, I'm going to catch the pack, Pat.
Sorry, yeah.
Time to inject some water.
Radio check.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Go for it.
It's my first time on transmitter. I can't see the group plans.
Have you set up the options in Little Nav Map on the online flying section? Because running transmitter, all that does is transmits you. You have to actually set Little Nav Map up to see everybody, which is a separate thing. So in the tools menu of Little Nav Map, you go to options, and then there's online flying, and you have to put a URL in a box and set it to custom. It says it all about it on the transmitter page online.
Yeah. Yes, I've done it.
Have you clicked on the little red icon of an aeroplane in the toolbar at the top of Little Nav Map, which would show the online aircraft?
Yes, I've got it as well.
Extra spaces in the URL line.
Yeah, that's the most common thing, is you might have a leading space in that URL if you copy and pasted it.
Yeah, you should press the test button and it'll say success if it works.
Yeah, because most of the browsers in Windows have a horrible habit of taking a leading space when you copy anything off the internet.
Not sure where the test button is.
When you know, in the online flying section, when you set up that it's custom and you're using IVAO format, for example, and you put the URL in.
Oh, I see test next up.
Yeah. So that should come up saying success.
Test just seems to be greyed out.
Got the address wrong.
Let me have a look. Options. So, yeah, that means you've got a space in front of the URL or on the end of it. I've just tried it.
Have you definitely selected custom and not custom with status file?
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be the URL has either got a space on the start or the end of it.
There's precipitation ahead on the Glencoe to Maple Lake leg.
I've got a nice sunny morning.
So have I. That's strange, isn't it?
With my godly weather powers.
Wimps.
Not a lot of hills around here, is there?
No, this part of the US is very flat.
Very wet.
A lot of puddles, eh?
What state are we in?
Unholy.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, isn't it?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Farming, isn't it? Arable farming. No, actually dairy farming.
So next leg up to, if I can find the mouse, to Maple Lake Municipal is 29 miles and 8 degrees.
That's my third crash to desktop. I'm might try one more time.
Not having much luck this evening.
What have I done differently since last time is add the GTN 750 add-on and the helicopter.
And that helicopter, it's not the same helicopter as Jim, is it?
Yes, it is. I'm not flying it. I'm in a Kodiak. But that's one thing different that I've done is add that.
I wonder if it doesn't like it being there.
Asobo insists that a bad mod in your community folder can cause trouble even if you're not using it.
I'm starting to wonder that.
Just rename it, perhaps, or just move it.
I've seen that too. One bad mod and that I never even used. Crash.
Yeah, I might move it and then reboot, so might be back in a bit.
Joe, have you had any problems with it? Radio check, voice check.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I think Joe, I think he was asking you if you had any questions.
Oh, sorry.
Any problems with the helicopter?
No.
Well, I've reloaded the sim. I'm now flying a Spit, but my helicopters are back in, and so are my other planes. That was really weird.
Did you also install a GTN, Jim?
Yeah, I did, and it worked perfectly today.
Yeah.
I mean, I used it to plan, put my flight plan in and everything.
Yeah, I've got this. I've had the GTN 750 for weeks, and I've never had a single issue with it. So.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time since it first came out.
Yeah.
It's never caused a crash, that I can tell.
No,
So
I
it looks
think
like the helicopter's the culprit.
I know what it is.
I told you it was the guy pushing the buttons.
It's that golf game.
Ellis, go to bed.
It's that golf game, Jim.
I've just got out of bed.
Well, get back in it.
It's the carbon interface, isn't it?
Yep. Pebcac.
Holes in one.
Yeah.
Holes in one and tears in the other.
Just about need a float plane round here.
So someone's asked on the live stream chat, do we know of any good tutorials for radio telephony? Because they're about to start out on VATSIM and they're scared to death, about the use of language. Good tutorial would be to come and fly with us on a night when we do ATC, but we haven't got one planned just at the moment, which doesn't help you tonight.
There are plenty out. Just do an ATC or a VATSIM ATC tutorial or radio speak tutorial.
Yeah, there's loads of them.
There's a very good YouTuber called Pilot Emily, and she has a video on her channel not only addressing that, but specifically getting over nerves about it as well.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. It's really good.
There's a website, I think it's called liveatc.net, if I remember right. And you can pick a tower or a ground approach just about anywhere in the world, certainly anywhere in the US, and just listen to them in your spare time.
Yeah, it's US only, because in the US the radio transmissions are public. You know, they're publicly accessible.
Oh, it's only US. I didn't know that. But there's a lot of controllers on there.
But it's great, isn't it? Because you can then use Flight Radar 24 alongside it, and you can actually see the aeroplanes that are talking.
Yeah, or Flight Aware, whatever.
Yep.
Just listen to the nomenclature that way. You'll hear all kinds of stuff.
Did you know if you have live real-world traffic on this, it is almost accurate?
Yes.
So you can fly with an actual aircraft, flying an actual route.
Just looking back on the live chat, so the guy that was asking about descent rates, so he said, so when reaching top of descent, I can see what's the nearest restriction and the descent to that. Yeah, you have to look on the map. You have to look on the chart, look at your location, and figure it out. There's no magic involved.
There's no universal restriction. You have to depends on what
exactly.
Terminal arrival you're using, and then which approach you're using.
You can get charts for free, can't you?
You can. Go to ChartFox and you can get many of the charts for free. They might not be the most up-to-date charts, but they're good enough to play with.
Or just if you want to see what airports use, well, go to FlightAware or something and watch the planes come in.
Yep.
And you'll be able to see what star they're using. And then you can look up that chart and see what the restrictions are, and then you can fly it.
Yep.
Or pick a flight. Go to FlightAware, pick a flight. San Francisco to Seattle or whatever, and look at how he filed his flight, and then you can reproduce that flight with the departure, arrival, and approach depending on wind.
Comes the question about radio procedure on VATSIM. I recommend listening to VATSIM.
Yes.
You can log in and sit on the ground and just listen. Find a busy airport.
Yeah, there's a tick box, isn't there? When you connect, you want to say I'm in observer mode, and then they won't hassle you about what you're doing. The best time to do it is to wait for a VATSIM event to happen and go and sit at the departure or arrival airport.
I was waiting for that, Jim.
Good evening.
Hi, Jim.
I think you just took one half of my big old moustache off.
I presume somebody just got buzzed by a Spitfire.
It was young Jim buzzing me.
As if I would.
Okay,
I have a Spitfire too, so...
Maple Lake. Wind is from the west 5 knots, so I'm guessing we ought to be looking at... although Hugh's just gone the opposite direction. Runway 28.
I don't care.
I'm going to look for runway 28.
He just wanted a shortcut to the next leg, didn't he?
Yeah, it was the most efficient route. So I'm just going out for runway 28 for my approach.
Well, it was essentially a crosswind. It doesn't really matter which side you land on.
It little arrow at the top of the little nav map says 284 degrees at 2 knots.
That's in the air, though.
That's where you are. That's
It's in
not
the-
at the airfield. If you hover the mouse over the airfield itself,
Yeah.
it pops up a dialog box, and the fourth bit on the meta is the direction and speed of the wind. 350, 10 knots. So it's almost from the north, like you said, at ground level.
That's if you're flying live weather, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the default is just from the west at 5 knots-ish, you know, everywhere.
It
if
is.
you're on scattered clouds.
Well, that must have been a Spitfire that just came past me doing a barrel roll.
Was I?
You know what would be cool? If we could have, like, live winds, but not live clouds.
Yes.
Well, I guess you can find out what the wind is and put it in.
Okay, I have visuals on the airfield. So the next airfield after this one is the stop airfield for the break.
What about people who are not on transmitter? Who've got no labels on, I suddenly come across an aeroplane. Obviously following the pack.
Yeah. Well, I put an advert on YouTube and said if anybody wants to jump in and join us, then just go to Southeast Asia.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll start it up at the break. I forgot.
To be honest, transmitters only really becomes useful when we're doing ATC type stuff.
That's useful when you've got no labels on.
Yeah, to see where if you're behind or ahead or.
No, you never know when Princeton Tower might pop up on frequency.
Is that a threat?
Could be.
Okay, I'm gonna do a circuit here. See some people coming in.
Hope those guys are okay that have just ran over on the runway coming the other way.
That was me. It's you that's going the wrong way.
The boss said runway 28, so that was it for me.
That's what I did.
Dyslexic.
Isn't that, no, it's got a different name, hasn't it, with numbers? Is it dyspraxia? I can never remember.
Yeah, it's the same.
So 39 degrees, 25 nautical miles out to Princeton.
I'm hanging out for that coffee.
Is this a hard landing at Maple Lake?
No.
Touch and go at Maple Lake, and then it'll be a full stop at Princeton.
Yeah, Princeton's the... And then race off to go and fill the kettle up. Or recharge your glass if you happen to have a glass of wine on the go or something.
How would that be?
Vodka, buddy, vodka. Took the helicopter out of my community folder, relaunched, sped up and caught the group. So far, no issues.
Fingers crossed, touch wood.
Sounds good.
We're all going to end up with all these lucky things we do when we start the simulator, aren't we?
Mine's a glass of wine.
I was going to say it'd be like David Coulthard with his lucky underpants he used to wear.
I don't know what I drank, but I'm hallucinating. I just saw CC-19 on the tag, but it was a Spitfire.
That's me, I think. Was it doing a touch and go?
Jim, I was all over the sky, and as I told you before, the only problem is the guy pushing the buttons.
Oh, we got a guy from Sweden watching the live stream. Swede Sim Aviator. He said hi to us all.
Oh, hi back.
Hello.
Hello back, Sweden.
Yeah, someone else has chipped in about listening to the radio telephony language and said, yeah, most important step to learn any language is just to listen to it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it though, because the first time I did any radio telephony stuff, it was with My Air actually. I went in one evening just to listen in, and then they started asking me, making requests of me, and I started answering them, and before I knew it, I was involved in a flight with air traffic control. And I didn't look back after that.
Why, you're going to get some stick later, Pat.
Yeah, why always me? Pick on somebody else.
Okay.
I'm hoping to learn Romanian because it's the #1 language spoken at work.
My other half and my kids have been learning Ukrainian this week because they have, each summer they take part in, well, my other half is one of the major organisers of a kids camp during the summer, like an activity camp, and they, of course, we've got I think 150 or maybe 200 by now Ukrainians living in the town, and a lot of their kids went to the summer camp, and some of them only had very spotty English. So yeah, everyone else was doing their bit to kind of learn enough just to communicate and to help them along.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been really interesting actually. The other thing that came through a couple of years ago is my other half and most of the kids can do I've forgotten what it's called. Is it Mechaton, the smaller version of sign language?
I know what you mean, yeah.
And yeah, they do that. Obviously my other half works in an infant school, so all of the teachers there can do it. So she's picked up a lot of it along the way as well.
No idea what you're talking about.
Sign language.
Oh.
Yeah, so many small children, before they get all of their kind of communication skills, they can often do sign language very, very early. So there is a reduced set of sign language that is used with small children to help them.
There's even a smaller subset of sign language used by drivers.
When I was a kid, the only sign language I understood was when he waved a cane in front of me.
Yeah, that meant stop it now.
Well, you did.
That meant it was too late and you got caught.
It meant I was going to be saying ouch in a few seconds.
Yeah, when I worked for that big airline, they used to pay people for languages. So if you spoke, I mean, there's one guy allegedly spoke Greek. He also allegedly spoke Russian and went to Russia for a week, practical reasons, as did 3 others. And a lady in my team was learning sign language. So she said, would the airline pay for her course? And they said no. They pay people to go and learn in Russia, accommodation included, and they will never use it. And she was using sign language on a regular basis, and they refused to pay her for it.
Well, there was a true case of a guy who lost 2 fingers at work, where he didn't notice he had lost them until he said goodnight to the foreman. Apparently.
I think someone's full of it.
But that has been the remarkable thing, though, actually, during that kids' camp week, is the younger children that have come in from the Ukraine. How quickly they have picked English up is just stunning. Just shows you how fast you learn things when you're young.
Absolutely.
I remember the junior school I went to, I learnt to read in 3 weeks.
And that's when you were 56.
Right, I'm heading out across to approach runway 34 at Princeton. In fact, I might do a circuit of the airfield so I can watch everybody else coming in, and then I'll come in towards the end of the pack.
Well, I've hoped you've booked your circuits in.
Howie Blue's already got his drink. He's already there.
Yep, he's sat in the cafe ready to watch us all and laugh.
Yeah.
It's all a pint in.
Oh, I just love watching people land.
And there's one air traffic that said, and where is the world's biggest airline going without a flight plan?
Jonathan, question. The other day you were flying an RV-14. Where did you get it?
Simworks Studios, from their website.
Thank you.
The same people who make the Kodiak.
Okay, thank you.
It's been upgraded several times since it came out. It's actually really good now. When it first came out, it was a little bit ropey.
There's an RV7 available free on flightsim.to, and it's very good actually for a free boot.
Okay, I can see the airfield. So we have a question in the live stream from the Swede Sim Aviator asking about the Skymaster, asking what we think of it. I think the only downer I can think about it is that I don't think it has a variation for the GTN 750. You can't retrofit it onto it.
You can use the PT50 version.
Oh, okay.
In fact, there's an option for it in the EFB in the plane.
Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look at that.
My personal opinion is it's pretty good, very good value for money. Carinado have a reputation for style over substance, but they've done a pretty good job with the Skymaster. It's difficult to fault, especially for the money you pay for it.
Yeah.
It's the 337, isn't it?
Yeah.
I bought that. As soon as I saw it, I bought that because I had it in the P3D. Has it been updated recently? I haven't seen.
I don't think so, but it's just very good.
Yeah, not recently.
I love the sound of it.
Yeah.
Maybe after Sim Update 10 breaks it.
That's soon, isn't it?
I'll be announcing live the best and worst landings, by the way, no pressure.
I'll get ready then.
I'm only joking, I won't really do that.
Oh, go on.
What do they call the guy on the carrier deck that judges the landings?
LFO. Is it LFO?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, LSO, Land
LSO.
Signal Officer.
Because they get scored, don't they? Every landing they do is scored.
For good reason.
Oh, yeah, you
Go
get
over
it.
3-4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Much better than mine, Patrick.
I'll run out of runway, unfortunately. It's a bit too fast. But we live to land again, or to try and land again.
There's a parallel taxiway if you want to land in pairs.
Where's the coffee shop here?
Harrison Ford mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Harrison Ford approach.
Ah, John, you're a man of culture too, I see.
What's that mean?
You in the Skymaster?
Yep. I watched a video of the aircraft arriving at Oshkosh, is it called, in the US?
Yep.
Oh my word.
Land long, land long, land long.
Yeah, they have volunteers on air traffic control. It seems like a recipe for disaster.
They're calling them by aircraft type, not by registration a lot of the time.
Yeah, and they have circles on the map of the runway that you should aim for your touchdown point.
Yeah, colored dots.
Oh my word, it just seemed like absolute chaos. But then I guess that's the only way to get several thousand planes in a short amount of time.
I think there's only ever one fatality a year, isn't there?
I'm going to go over the other side.
Are you hoping to land that, Joe?
Oh, I think so. I've only got one engine at the moment, so a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. You're a bit nose up.
Well, yeah, as I say, one engine.
Oh, I'm going to have to jump outside in the drone camera view to watch this happen then.
A different livery again.
It's definitely you.
Someone's clogging up the one way.
I'll shift them.
Yeah, can you divert?
It's got a cow pusher on the front.
Certainly have.
It's called 50 tons worth of.
Oh, glide approach. What a place to bloody park a helicopter.
Isn't it great how Flight Sim doesn't draw the wheels in if you're away from your aeroplane and you're watching other aircraft? Well, there's a helicopter on the apron.
Certainly was.
So every day if we happen to be out at the right time, 12:30, we get treated to the A380 coming in. One of the guys said, "What happens if the engines fail?"
Gravity takes over.
I said, "Well, believe it or not, it can glide." No, it can't.
Of course it can. That's when you tell them the story about the
Gimli glider.
Yeah, the Gimli glider. Was that about 40 miles they glided?
It was a long way.
Is glided the right word for past tense? It wouldn't be glid, would it?
Glided, gentlemen.
Seems wrong,
Glided.
doesn't it? Glided.
There, we're down. So. Across the grass.
It's nice to have tarmac instead of grass for this 320.
Right. What am I doing? So I'm going to shut my engine down briefly.
Oh, look at the flight line. It's all actually quite well organised.
We're all professionals here.
Is that Joe in the Airbus?
Could be. Could be.
There was a scurrilous rumour about an Airbus. Not that I saw him practising in the week, seeing how slow and how small an airfield he could get it on.
Yeah. I wonder if I've been forgiven by those golfers yet.
I take it you haven't got much fuel on board, Joe?
9%.
Constant fuel warning then.
He's now going to put it in the grass and it's going to bed itself in nicely.
Oh, it's hard grass, I can tell. Yes, unfortunately I lost number 2 engine for some reason. On approach.
That was the ginger beer we poured into it at the start.
There's a Cessna 140.
Could be.
Somebody turned up in an A320.
Yep, that was Joe.
If you're looking for him, he's got a Cessna stuck out of an engine pod.
And he's wondering why that engine's failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Hugh went quiet.
Or is it Linden? Upside down, that.
Or in the engine.
Yeah.
Wish you'd have sucked in this helicopter clogging up the runway.
Joe's going to have to spend half an hour out there with a rag now getting the mud off the tyres.
Do you think? Or a jet wash man?
Oh, you carry the jet wash in the cabin.
Yeah. It's in my hand baggage.
You tell the flight team that's your last flight, don't you? And then they give you a wash for free as you land.
Oh.
The fuel tank got a bit upset with his ring fencing and he's smashing into all of us.
Right, I'm going to go make a quick coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Likewise.
Can't see you in a spit, Jim.
Right, if we all gang up on the Airbus, we can probably take it down.
Yeah.
Like ants attacking a spider, isn't it?
Oh, it's Jim in the helicopter. You're persisting, Jim, then.
Yeah. There's somebody. Right.
Next leg is 14 miles at 090.
40 or 14?
14 miles.
Okay. I don't have it on the map at all. So.
I'm back.
Look, Jim's airborne.
So, a guy called Dave Thorne has commented on the live stream saying, "Another great fly, love watching." Well, it's not over yet. You might not like watching the second half.
So they get the Discord audio as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Mum.
Well, one should be speaking properly from now on.
What's the destination?
Following Princeton, we're going on to Cambridge Municipal, then Simonstadt Municipal, then New Richmond Regional, Lake Elmo, and we end at St Paul Downtown, Holman Field, apparently, which is very close to the centre of Minneapolis. So the next airfield is Cambridge, which is Kilo Charlie Bravo Golf.
Thank you.
Have I seen a P-38?
Very possibly.
The engine sounds like an old tractor.
Have you
There's
got it
an
installed?
ILS approach at the last airfield too, boys.
There is.
There's a P-38 devouring something blue.
Just came in, didn't you?
Thank God I'm black and red.
There's an aircraft I bought. I can't remember the last time I used it.
Actually flows quite nice, doesn't it? I can't remember it making that noise. Don't know if you can hear it through my mic.
I can hear something. I thought that was whatever Joe's chewing.
Nothing at the moment.
Sound I'm picking up from that 38.
Jim, are you in the helicopter?
I am, yeah, I've got it up and running. Yeah, I am.
I've got the same one and it shows as a plane to me. Shouldn't it show as a helicopter?
Only to those that have got it, I presume. Is
Right.
it, what tag have I got?
H-135.
That's it?
Yeah.
But visually it shows as a plane.
Did you? Yeah. Did you load the aircraft via the dev mode, or did you go out of the sim?
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, I took it out. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, because the other way you can get caught with that is if somebody switches aircraft via dev mode, you won't see the correct aircraft in the sim in the same session. Don't know why I'm driving on the grass when there's a taxiway.
Sounds like an Oshkosh video.
Right, I'm going to get back in the air and circle the airfield, watching everybody as they take off. How are we doing for time? So yeah, we've just gone past 9 o'clock, so we've done halfway, just over the hour, so we're doing okay on time.
There's an ATR 72 on the taxiway in front of me with a real funny attitude. He's taxiing along, nose up.
P38.
Yeah, it's probably a tail dragger you haven't got the model for.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, for the second half of the flight, if everyone's back and on the ground, if you do try to make sure you've got your lights on. If you don't know how, just press L on the keyboard and your plane will light up like a Christmas tree. But
Are we taking off once we're ready?
Yeah, I'm just going to orbit the airfield until everybody's kind of in the air, and then we'll all set off together. So hopefully keep the pack somewhat together.
Oh, well, after you, whoever that was.
Somebody else has come on the live stream saying they actually live near these airports, so they'll be able to tell us where we're going. I presume, seeing as this is Princeton, the college must be somewhere nearby. If it's the same Princeton. Flight Sim has decided to stop drawing aircraft for me, which is useful.
Yes, I just lost everybody else in the sim, but not on Little Madman.
Yeah, it's the servers are playing up. So what we could all do is switch to a different server to see if it fixes it. We'd all have to decide on a server.
Probably come back.
Does it usually come back on its own?
Yeah,
usually.
I'll just circle for a minute or two then. So you don't have to recycle the server yourself to get it to trip into it or not?
Yeah, I'm getting people back already.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep, so am I.
Same here.
Good. at least one of them has appeared on the ground. Yeah, I've got some nav lights appearing now in the sky. Awesome. Okay, we'll give it another couple of minutes and then we'll set off. So the next leg this evening then, yeah, is to Cambridge Municipal. It's only a short leg, 14.5 miles, 90 degrees, so travelling east. As we said at the first half, if you try and stick to about 140 knots, it means the group will stay together and you can play games with flying in formation with each other, things like that.
For anyone in the Skymaster, I've found good slow speed cruise settings of 2300 RPM and 20 inches manifold pressure. All mix, of course, at this low altitude.
So who's doing the intersection takeoff at the moment?
I've just had to hit the Y button. I don't know where I am.
There's somebody just lining up at the moment from the intersection on 3-3.
Well, that ain't I.
Right. I'm going to set off then. I'm just coming round towards facing east and I'm going to straighten up and hit 140 knots and hopefully end up at the correct airfield. Were you telling me, Hugh, that there's no speed restriction on the undercarriage in the Skymaster?
Well, the restriction is 200 knots, but I've never achieved that.
Okay, so you can use the undercarriage as a speed brake.
Exactly. That will quickly get you down to flap speeds.
Let's have a look at the map, see where we all are.
Yeah, there's a tiny little placard just below and to the right of the airspeed indicator, and it says gear down 200 knots of indicated.
Oh yes.
Is that you doing a low pass, Pat?
Was I?
Oh, we got a guy that's commenting on the live stream. If only we could get him on channel so he could tell us where we are, point out landmarks.
Yeah.
I had to talk to my other half because she knows the Lake District in the UK backwards. So she's kind of very carefully agreed at some point to sit in on a flight and talk us around the Lake District.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So flying along the valleys, low and slow. Should be telling stories probably about guest houses that were rubbish over the years and things like that.
Are you coming out of the sun, Pat?
I'm heading away now.
Well, I know, but you're still going into the sun.
Ah,
I see you. Buzzing a defenceless helicopter, you swine, sir.
what helicopters are for, isn't it? To be buzzed.
Don't get too close, I might chop your wings off.
Oh, that's not me, that's Jason.
You were first. I saw you. I saw both of you. Really good view in a helicopter.
Yeah, I might change my time of day to evening so I get the sun on the opposite side of me. Then I can see the nav lights then.
Yeah, that's what I normally do.
You are such a cheat.
I'm optimizing the system for photography purposes.
Very good.
Nice, isn't it?
Is live weather foggy like I'm seeing?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's why I've got scattered cloud.
I'm from Ohio, so this is too far out west for me.
We're in Ohio, so am I.
Near Cincy.
Cincinnati.
I'm near Toledo.
That might as well be another country.
I was going to say, it's the other side, isn't it?
Are we all going runway 16 at Cambridge? I don't mind which. Yeah, I don't mind which, as long as we all go the same.
I'm just going to land in a field.
You're just showing off.
I'm going 3-4.
Yeah.
1-6 there.
Nice to see you, Jason.
Strobes.
Of course, I could land right in the middle of the runway and screw everybody up.
Dear me. Just turned real weather on and barely see.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific.
And even I've given up on real weather.
So that helicopter doing... I'm seeing it as a helicopter, by the way, but from a distance it looks like something from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Lighting the ground up and then taking off vertically.
Very bright lights too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Jonathan, can you remember the option for range rings?
Yes, in Little Nav Map, you mean?
Yeah.
Or in the aeroplane?
No, in Little Nav Map.
You right click on wherever you want them and you can
configure them?
Oh, it's in the options somewhere in the map, I think.
Uh-huh.
It's there. I think when you set it up, you can, when you first go in there, Joe, I think it gives you options then, colour and range.
Yeah.
There's like a text box with several integers in it, with spaces in between them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, I always have to hunt for it when I go looking for it.
I reinstalled P3D 5.3 the other day. A new install on this computer.
Yep.
I had to wait 2 days for them to send me a code.
Oh my word.
Because apparently they've deactivated my code.
Okay, next leg. 122 degrees, 28 miles to Simonstadt Municipal, which is Kilo Oscar Echo Oscar. The nice thing about flying at night is I can now follow all of the nav lights through the sky.
For those people in the Spitfire that keep buzzing me, I'd like you to know that this is a police helicopter.
Well, you just jolly well try and catch me then.
That was very.
Get you where you're on the ground.
I'm sure when we watch those fly on the wall police programs, the criminals don't say jolly well try and catch me. I'm sure it's a bit more colourful than that.
These guys in the Spitfires are behaving like a pack of naughty little boys.
Nothing new there, Ellis.
I'm pretty sure that's how they behaved in the 1930s and 40s, to be honest.
Well, they were only kids, weren't they?
Exactly.
I heard some fine young fellows last night, obviously doing some higher screeching nearby. I could hear it, but this was about 11:30. Couldn't pinpoint where it was. I wanted to go and join in, of course. I'm thinking, you idiots, that's 5,000 miles just taking off that tyre.
It's a bit difficult to keep up with them on a push bike though, isn't it?
Roller skates.
You were
They
looking
weren't
at roller
invented.
skates.
They weren't invented when they were kids.
Used to dream of having roller skates.
There is quite a stream of aircraft flying between these two airfields now.
I don't think I even knew anybody that could afford roller skates.
My brother had metal wheel ones, strap on, and he used to go to school on them.
Really?
Yeah, he had about 4 miles to go to get to school.
Was he good at it?
Oh God, yeah.
It must have made a hell of a noise if they were metal wheels.
They all were back then. I'm talking 1950s.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the latex wheels came in the 70s with roller skates and skateboards, didn't they?
Yeah, they had rubber before that though.
Well, yeah, but it disintegrated, didn't it? It used to perish.
Yeah, rubber back then was terrible.
I guess it was when silicon came in, wasn't it? Or silicone, I should say. I'm guessing silicone is actually a trade name, and it's actually a horrible chemical name for the actual substance. It's a bit like people talk about Gorilla Glue or super glue, but it's actually it's cyanoacrylate, isn't it?
I was going to say that.
It's a really cheap, really cheap glue. It was actually made for battlefield purposes.
The last time I ever went roller skating was at Butlins at Filey.
1904.
Okay, who was that? Oh, sorry, I've got you on video. Thank you.
I was going to say the live stream, if you're watching YouTube on another screen, is usually a few seconds behind, so you get a small delay.
Yes.
Watch it twice then.
But that's only if I've seen it, if it's on the live stream, so yeah, unfortunately.
There's a YouTube channel.
Sorry?
You're saying there's a YouTube channel?
Yes, I'm recording this. It's going out live on YouTube, so we do it just to get people interested in flying with the group, to show them what a group flight's like. So we don't record every flight, but we usually do.
They know now it's pure bedlam.
Yeah.
Spitfire 1 and Spitfire 2, just so you know, I'm live, so everyone can see you buzzing me. And my camera's picking you up as well.
Of course, you're probably, are you broadcasting in Discord then, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so am I. So I can see me buzzing you, and you can see me buzzing you.
To be honest, I think the best thing we get from group flights is the shared experience and wisdom with the simulator, and with the way the aeroplanes work, and with the real world procedures as well.
Or the crashes to desktop.
Well, yeah, problem solving. It's fantastic because you can usually guarantee somebody's seen something similar.
Police to pilots of Spitfires. Infamy. You've all got it, infamy.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Goods were worse.
That's pretty. I'm flying towards the sunset. I can see you guys coming at me.
So somebody's asked in the live stream about landings at particular airfields. KFCM.
Chicken airport, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say that's Flying Cloud. That's
good.
That's down in
good.
the southwest. KL.
Finger looking good.
KLVN, which is, I'm just looking for them on the map.
Isn't that a military airport? Run by Colonel somebody or other.
KLVN is further south. KMIC is...
Kansas City. No, it's MCI, beg your pardon.
Yeah. I'm doing a job finding them while I'm flying, but... So yeah, the answer to the question on the live stream is no, we're not landing at those. They're further south than our routes. Because we tend to try and keep the routes for these flights to 150 miles, which usually works out under 2 hours at 120 knots. But tonight's is a bit longer at 180, so that's why we're doing 140 knots. Which we're still going to go over the top of 2 hours, I think, but not by too much.
LVN's got a can station outside it, so that's usually an indication it's military.
Yeah, but is there a big statue of Colonel Sanders in the middle of it?
Importantly, is there a queue?
So, Simonstadt Municipal. I'm actually showing a tailwind, but I know I'm not flying with real weather, so I'm not reflecting. Everyone's going to have their own weather, aren't they? Depending on what they've chosen.
You certainly are.
I think as long as we all choose the same direction, that helps a lot. So, are we going for runway 10?
Yeah, looks like it, Jonathan.
Cool. So straight in.
The ones in front of me seem to be going
Yep.
there. Had an 8-knot crosswind.
Yeah, that's fine.
On about discovering problems, I found what was wrong with my USBs, and it definitely was. I have one USB 3 in the back of the machine, and it's for special purposes on reading up in ASOS, is it, the maker?
Right.
And I had one of my powered hubs plugged into it, and that was the problem. I took it out of there and plugged it into one of the ones on the front of the machine, and it's running perfect now. No problems with USBs at all.
That's interesting. I hadn't actually thought to look in the BIOS to see if it's got any power management at the kind of the lower level.
Well, there is, but the thing is, the special USB has got a special little sign on it. I've forgotten what it is, but if you look very carefully at your USB sockets in the back of the machine. I bet you one of them is a special one.
Has it got like does it say Dave with a cross through it?
Something like that.
So what's the difference in colour? Because I've got some blue ones.
That's the speed. It's the generation. Yeah.
USB3s.
Right.
Red ones are USB 2, I think, are they? And blue ones are USB 3.
I think USB 2s are white, aren't
I can't remember.
they? I think blue is 3 and the other one, red, 3.1.
Oh, okay. I know there's a difference there, and it's to do with data rate.
So a 3 should be good enough for anything.
Yeah. It's to do with the amount of power as well. The various versions of USB provide different power ratings through the cable.
Spitfire to chopper, police.
You're booked. You're going to jail.
I'm afraid you're a flaming wreck.
I know that after 5 crashes to desktop, what do you expect? Oh, sorry, you mean my plane?
Yes.
I'm approaching this airfield in the dark, and I can see all the nav lights flying around. All I need is the music from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Somebody had to.
I need to watch that movie again, it's so good.
When we advertise ourselves as a casual flying group, we really mean it, don't we?
Well, yeah, but we all do the serious flights. We all do the serious flights during the week, though, so it's good just to have a chat. And...
Yeah.
Why didn't take this tie off?
My favourite scene in Encounters of the Third Kind is where he's messing around with a plate of mashed potatoes.
Oh, that is good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
My air starts again in about 3 weeks.
Cool.
Let's get some routes planned.
I think you need to get your routes done, Patrick, don't you?
Oh, you've seen the pictures.
He hasn't got any left.
Guys, all you guys in the Northern Hemisphere, I've got some bad news for you. Our days are getting longer down here.
Oh, shut
That
up.
means yours must be getting shorter.
Noticeably.
They are.
Dark by 9 o'clock now.
It's 10 o'clock.
We're starting to notice it down here. The sun's been up now for over half an hour down here.
Oh, you can open a bottle of wine and open the Barbie.
Well, a bit early for that.
Lower your yard arm.
You keep saying that. I said that to him yesterday about over the yard arm, and no, he wouldn't bite.
If I was 20 or 30 years younger, yes, probably nothing had stopped me. But these days, I'm a little bit more conservative.
And that's why you're in the mess that you're in now.
He doesn't start till 10:30.
You learn a hell of a lot in hindsight, don't you?
20/20 vision.
Oh, I don't dare drink more than like 1 or 2 on an evening in the week anymore, because then I've got work in the morning. And
Oh, that is so sad.
I know.
I have one.
How many more years before you retire, Jonathan?
Oh, probably at least another 15.
Oh, I'll probably be dead by then.
Oh, me too, man.
By the way he's going to YouTube, it'll be next year.
No, it doesn't earn that much. It earns enough to buy an aeroplane now and again. That's how much it earns.
Real one or simulator?
Simulator one. I wish it was a real one. Mind you, having read around the money people sink into real aeroplanes, oh my word, it makes you wonder why you would even bother.
Well, ask Lee.
Yeah.
It's the same with both.
Quarter share.
I watched this video the other day of the official Cessna dealer in Alaska delivering a brand new 172 with a nice G1000 panel and stuff. It's like $460,000.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
What was that about Alaska?
Next time I see her, Alaska.
It just happened to be a Cessna being delivered in Alaska by the one official Cessna dealer in Alaska.
So he can probably charge what he likes.
Yeah, I guess he can.
Well, you have to I'll ask him.
Watching all the guys landing in front of me, we're getting too good at this, guys.
Yeah, in the early days you'd see some pretty comical cartwheeling on the runway, wouldn't you? Things like that.
I saw one of the Spitfire boys have a bit of problem at the last airport, but I didn't like to say anything.
No, you didn't.
It was all over the place down the runway. You went off onto the grass in the middle, and
No, that wasn't me.
a handful, those things.
I've been quite pleased with my touch and goes.
It's funny, ages ago somebody asked me in response to I think it was a live stream when I first had a go at live streaming, and they commented on getting lined up for landing and, you know, just coming in nicely. And they said, how do you manage to get it lined up and, you know, land on the centre line? And all I said to them was hours and hours and hours of practice.
I just said, look.
more like years and years.
Yeah.
And years.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you can kind of do book learning and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, you can't beat for this kind of thing where it requires coordination and observation, and you just have to do it.
And running at a slower speed. And
The observation's very important. I keep seeing these Spitfires trying to buzz me.
They're like a swarm of bees, Jim. They keep.
Well, it certainly begins with B. Yes.
if you had, what was it, DCS, you could shoot them down.
You could.
They say if you can't beat them, join them, eh?
This is a police helicopter. You don't know what I've got on here.
I don't think anyone really respects your authority, to be honest.
I'm beginning to get the same picture.
I'll drink to that.
Brilliant.
So will I. I'll drink to that as well.
Some things got extremely bright lights, and it's not the
It
helicopter.
was a P-38 just went across me. I'm only an old fella and I'm dawdling along in my 208 Caravan. Just leave me alone.
All these old people with caravans, I don't know.
Biggest boom in British industry at the moment: caravans and motorhomes.
Big business down here too.
Vacations.
My wife and I got a nice Swift, about 2018 for Bertha. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, well, I've got a Bailey on the drive.
I've got a Bailey's in the cupboard.
Yes.
236 degrees down to the next airfield, which is Lake Elmo, 21 Delta.
Saying Elmo's fire.
Yes, I've come on one night after you've forgotten and said I've just got a Bailey 420.
The cure with caravans is to have a tank now. Blow them up like they would in Top Gear.
You're a whole barrel of laughs, really, aren't you, Dave?
I used to have a caravan, so I'm not, you know, I can see it from both sides.
It's a shame. It's a shame that nobody blew you up then.
No, it's just that when I'm in my Jag, they get in the bloody way. I'm just stuck behind him doing what, 50?
My brother used to tow his caravan with his Jag.
Oh my word.
Oh, that's disgraceful, that
He took it to Scotland from Gloucestershire.
It should be a
is.
Mercedes.
When I got my chain tight, they asked did I want a tow bar fitted. I said, no way. Oh dear.
Yeah, his Jag was
Runway
meant to be 12.
32 at the next stop, guys. Let's all not run over each other.
There's quite a queue of planes coming in, and Lake Elmo's only small.
Oh, first there.
Oh, touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah, it's touch and go, and then it leads onto the final airfield, which is St Paul downtown, which is got several runways, so you can all choose different runways, and they don't cross. Oh, actually, I tell a lie. They all cross.
So if I land on the cross,
Yep, you can watch everybody coming from all directions.
This one at Elmo is what runway? 22.
Yeah, as long as everybody chooses a similar runway, then it's not a problem. We can go 22 would be the direct route for everybody, because you can fly straight in.
Getting a bit too dark. Nice big river. Nice big smokestack with smoke. Nice big freeway.
like pylons, Dave, loads of them.
And that's the first mention of them tonight. Taxiway is longer than the runway.
Well, I'm going to fly the Feather, I think.
Into runway 32 on St Paul.
No, probably the other one. 1-4.
Okay.
So I'm heading that way. At 524 knots. In the dock star.
So you're only just ticking over there.
Oh no, we're flat out with full afterburner.
Yeah, it's got quite a narrow wind envelope really to get to speed. You have to follow quite a prescribed flight plan to get it up to the high altitudes.
Cleared up for me as well, weather-wise.
Yeah. It's an interesting place I'm just flying over. What's that then?
I think you need your groceries delivered by helicopter when you live here.
I'm your man. Including a police escort.
So we're entering basically the outskirts of Minneapolis now, so it's getting busier slowly on the ground.
You sure sure that police escort's not chasing you.
How dare you, sir?
Go live weather and try an ILS approach. See how I go.
Yeah.
It's quite pretty.
It suddenly got worse for me.
Ah. It was quite interesting until it suddenly got absolutely pea-souped.
Oh, what a balloon.
This Skymaster, the Skymaster, you can do a complete tank slapper if you get it swaying on the runway. I've probably just lost half an inch off both of the rear tyres, just sliding my way down the runway under power.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times this evening as well.
You kind of get into a pilot-induced kind of oscillation, don't you, where you can't recover it.
Yeah.
Keep sliding.
Well, I was touching down at 170 knots, and I obviously pulled the stick back, and it climbed away. What the bugger?
Right. So we've gone everywhere except Minneapolis. We've gone all the way around the outside of it. Now heading into probably the most expensive airport landing fees in the city to land.
And we get special dispensation, don't we?
Well, it's free.
What's the other big airport further west?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis International.
Yeah.
MSP.
There ain't no code on it.
KMSP.
We're going into the little executive airport a couple of miles to the side of it.
Well, that was a bit quick, Jim.
Just a little bit.
I'm following a Trilander in.
It's only day 2. Give me a break.
So you're going to go for the ILS export, Charlie Mike?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, yeah. See if I can hone my skills.
I think I might actually go and have a circle of the city before I come into the airfield. Just go and have a look at it.
Just done that.
Yeah, just get your height down to 2,500 feet. It might help. You're a bit high at the moment. You need to start your descent, Echo Charlie Mike.
Doing that right now. realise I'd got up so high.
Didn't see the control tower.
Road network is impressive on the alongside the main, the main city, the commercial district.
Yeah. My sim is frozen.
Okay, so what's the major church in Minneapolis then? Because it looks a bit like St. Paul's, doesn't
I
it?
was going to say it's got a big dome on it, hasn't it?
I'm going to go over and have a look at it.
I think my sim is dead.
Or it's sleeping. There's got to be a joke there somewhere, hasn't there?
Yeah, but it's certainly frozen. Did a double barrel roll as I came out of it, it froze.
Problems with the sim one way and another. Mark, you around tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm in a police chopper, but you don't need to call me sir.
I'm scared, man.
So you should be. I'll bring the cuffs.
Eating my stash right now.
That's the fluffy ones.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
My sim has paused.
Fluffy ones.
Yeah, I'm still paused, so I think it's terminal.
Oh, no, it's just woken up for me. It just took a while.
Who's that in the white chopper? In the 8135?
I've just changed into the navy one. Navy as in, not as in blue.
Which is white, isn't it?
It is.
I'm still paused.
Okay, I'm just going to circle back in and land.
That's a nice landing, whoever's in the Islander.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
All right, Ryan.
Watching Mark C.
You should come and find me, Joe.
Yes, I think I'm. Well, I'm assuming it's you. It's the police helicopter I can see.
Nice landing from Sobo 7 Alpha as well, right on the touchdown point.
Oh, bit too much over control there.
Rubbish, that is.
It was.
Oh, you just devoured him.
It is. I'm just going to back off a little bit. There we are.
Thank you for all your help yesterday, Joe.
Yeah, no bother.
And then I watched a couple of videos on cold startup and the autopilot.
Yeah.
It was good. I love it.
It's nice to have just a bit poke around. You know, it's of course once you get off in the off the ground, 10 feet or so, you can just investigate your surroundings.
Yeah, I did what you did. I went round Heathrow.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the detail's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll
Mark,
see you
I'll
later,
see you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Jim. Good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Jim.
Cool. See you soon.
You too. Good night, everyone.
Jim.
Yep. See you soon, Hugh. That was good fun, wasn't it?
No, I'm still paused.
Oh no.
I think that's terminal.
Isn't it odd how the flights often crash at the destination?
Well, I did wonder whether it's because there's so many aircraft.
Possibly.
You'd think that would happen at the origin as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Because I had it freeze, on approach. So whether it's just a combination of, I think there's photogrammetry here as well.
It certainly is.
So it's just a combination of factors, I think, because the frame rate here was appalling compared to some of the other airfields.
Oh, I thought mine was all right.
Oh, maybe it's, I don't know then what causes it. But yeah, the frame rate here really ground to a halt. But again, there's like 50, 60 aeroplanes here.
Yeah.
I'm out. Thanks, John.
Cool. See you soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan. Good night, all.
Yep. See you soon.
Yeah, cheers. Bye-bye. I'm going to have to do Taskmaster on this. Task Manager.
Cool. Right, I'm going to stop the stream. So anyone that was watching this on YouTube or watches it on YouTube, we fly the same every week on a Sunday evening, and it's usually just as mayhem-filled and chaotic as this, but it's good fun.